Article 17 is overtime. Let's walk through how the rate is figured when you move up to double time and what the contract owes you if the rules get broken. Start with what the rate is built on. Your straight time compensation here isn't just base pay. It includes any licenses, premiums, and differentials you normally get for each scheduled hour on your shift. When time and a half kicks in depends on your schedule. On an 8-hour day, it's the first 4 hours you work after your regular shift. On a 10-hour day, it's the first 2. Days off follow the same shape. On an 8-hour day, the first 8 hours on a scheduled day off are time and a half. On a 10-hour day, it's the first 10. Everything past that goes to double time. Here's when you go to double time on a normal workday. Every hour past 12 is paid at 2 times your straight time rate, and that threshold is the same whether you're on an 8 or a 10-hour shift. Double time reaches your days off too. Past the first 8 hours on an 8-hour schedule, past the first 10 on a 10-hour schedule, and all time on your second and later days off, as long as you worked or were paid for at least 4 hours on one of the earlier ones. If you're off duty and the company calls you in, you're owed a minimum of 8 hours of overtime pay, unless that shift overlaps your regular one. And when overtime runs alongside your regular shift, the minimum is 4 hours. Overtime doesn't cancel your breaks. 10 minutes every 2 hours. Work 2 continuous hours of overtime before or after your shift, and you get an added 30-minute paid meal, or pay in lieu of it, and another one for each 4 hours after that. This is the protection worth knowing by heart. Overtime is voluntary except in an emergency, and the contract defines emergency narrowly. Even then, you can't be worked past 12 hours total on an 8-hour shift, or 14 on a 10. There's a rest rule as well. If you worked more than one shift in the previous 12 hours and you'd have under 6 hours before the next one, you're entitled to an 8-hour rest. Or you and your supervisor can agree you report on time, paid at the overtime rate for all hours worked. If you get skipped on overtime, there are 2 outcomes. A deliberate bypass and repeated clerical errors count as deliberate, gets you paid for the hours you missed at the applicable overtime rate and charged for them. Everything else gets you an equal amount of made-up overtime at the rate you were bypassed. One last thing. Overtime is offered off the call book in your bid area, lowest accumulated hours first, so keep your sign-up accurate and legible. Read Article 17 yourself and bring your questions to your local